of what's going to happen right now, potentially, and there's a couple different ways it can go. It doesn't give you as full a picture as if you go back what happened previously, say with Spiro Agnew, what was the context and how could that apply to today? So anyway, go ahead, ask questions.
No, but how talking about that, how fitting that a colonoscopy could remove Biden.
Well, let me just tell you this. I don't want to get too down in the weeds. Okay, nobody is saying this. Okay, you won't find anybody else that's willing to go to the ragged edge like this. Okay, so let's really mess with people's minds.
Cool.
Okay, so Nelson Rockefeller became the vice president under Nixon when Spiro Agnew was taken out, and the attempt was. Because the Rockefeller clan couldn't get a Rockefeller into the presidency in a direct vote because people just weren't going to have it. And so they tried to come in the back door. There was a little engineering that had been occurring to set the stage for a Rockefeller to get to the presidency, in which case he'd have enough power and control in hidden ways that you'd never get him out or some relative. And within the Rockefeller family and others, this isn't just speculation. There have been other persons who knew Nelson Rockefeller and other of the Rockefellers who were very aware that there was this inside family conversation that people won't elect a Rockefeller directly. We'll get a Rockefeller in the back door. They get the bastard if they have to, if they won't elect us directly. And of course, later it became that Bill Clinton became president. Well, Bill Clinton is Winthrop Rockefeller's son, and he's not a Blythe. Even his mom was fussing about the fact that he had to hide the fact he was a Rockefeller in the week before she died there at the track, and that was part of the conversation at the dog track there in Hot Springs. So. Because I vacation with the Rockefeller family every year out in Colorado, for a couple decades. So at the end of the day, now we look at this current situation. People were speculating. Okay, now here's where we get to the ragged edge. Oh my gosh, there'll be people coming out of the woodwork to scream bloody murder on this one.
Right.
But now. I saw speculation today that the House would somehow nominate that Hillary should come into the vice presidency in part of this secession thing. Okay, well that's interesting. What's the likelihood? Man, whatever. But just even from a speculation standpoint. Okay, let me just put this for a second. The girl that we know as Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
In I believe it was junior high school. She was a great athlete. She was on one of the state softball championship teams. There's been books written about it, so I'm not telling you anything that's not out there in the world somewhere. And so she's on this state championship softball team and has a good batting average. I think her batting average was like 330.
Wow.
Now pause. Let's think about this for a second. And they've got yearbooks from the school that she went to, where this is in the yearbooks or whatever. In Hillary's book, It Takes a Village or whatever it was, one of the books she did, she talks about the fact that she didn't want to be embarrassed by her Coke bottle glasses because they were so thick. And so she wouldn't wear her glasses. She would have to go around the school holding onto the arm of her friend. And that friend would lead her around like, Helen Keller or something, so that she wouldn't have to be embarrassed wearing these thick glasses and could still look cute for boys. And so, excuse me, if you wear Coke bottle glasses and you're on the softball team and you have a batting average of 330 or whatever it was still a pretty good batting average. Something's going on there because she was born with the eye condition that she has from birth. It was congenital. So how can that be? There's an unresolvable thing. So out there in the world somewhere, speculation has been, there have been people that have gone out and said that Hillary is in fact the bastard daughter of Nelson Rockefeller, and that somewhere along the line something had happened. The dad, Mr. Rodham, did handle the oil leases for Standard Oil. And so whatever happened somewhere in that transition from high school to college, something was, had occurred with the original Hillary and this girl that we now know as Hillary was swapped in. It's out there at the ragged edge of conversation. People all go crazy that we've even had this conversation. But it is an interesting thing. If in fact somebody's proposing that Hillary should somehow be injected back into the public forum as a VP or, in the line to the presidency, a backdoor, does have little tinctures of going back to the way we got the first replacement vice president with Nelson Rockefeller, who by that conversation would have in fact been her real dad. So this is all highly speculative.
Is there really a back door?
Huh?
Is there really a back door?